I have been to 9 wrestling shows this year. 9! Can you believe that, ladies and gentlemen? This weekend I make it shows 10 and 11. If you can believe such stuff. Excuse me. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to these. These are going to be my Infinite Promotions 51st State of Emergency and Future Shop 59 predictions video thingy. First things first, though, I must make a confession. No Raw review this week because I got a new job, which I started on Tuesday. I am greatly worried after just 4 days on this job about my video output once again. I've meant to be watching Judgment Day 2002 this week and just haven't bothered. I've watched one match of it tonight when I got home. That's only because I finished earlier than normal. That's it. I watched Angle vs. Zeds. I'm not interested in watching wrestling when I get home. It's exactly the same as it was last year, you know. I'm worried about that. Worried. Anyway, we'll talk about that another time. 2 massive shows this weekend. Massive in different ways, because the first one tomorrow night, or tonight, or yesterday, potentially, if you're watching this on Sunday, Infinite Promotions' first ever show is going to be taking place in the Grand Central Hall in Liverpool, right in the city centre of Liverpool. And this is such a ridiculously large card. I mean, it's huge. It's absolutely massive. So let's go through this one. So, one of the things that Infinite are going to be doing is starting a league-style tournament, if you want to call it this. Basically, 8 cities represented, 8 English cities. Actually, I think Cardiff's on there as well, or is it Swansea? One of the big Welsh cities. And each city is going to have a team. These teams are going to compete, and the winner at the end of the thing will be the champions, and that is that. The teams are so ridiculous. So many great-looking teams. Wow, so many. 2 league matches going on in this show, and I'm sorry, I haven't done a very good job of making that sound interesting. Basically, these matches are going to be fought under the old British rules system, which I personally, throw my hands up straight away, I'm not a fan of. I'm going to go into this with an open mind and say, listen, show me. Basically, British rules are, you get public warnings off the referee. If you get 3 of those, I think it is, you're disqualified. But to win a match, you need to pin or make your opponent submit twice. It's 2 falls. So essentially, every match is a best 2 out of 3 falls match. Every one of them is. Like I say, I haven't done the greatest of jobs of explaining the rules or making it sound exciting. I apologise for that. It's not intentional. It's not because, like I say, British rules have never really done it for me. If you're a fan who watched the World of Sport days in the 80s, you'll be familiar with the British rule system. But it's like I say, I'm not a fan, and I think the reason for that is because I used to watch World of Sport. It's just because I'm used to the American rules, so I find British rules confusing. But, you know, as long as they're explained properly, it's going to be all good, isn't it? 2 of the matches. James Mason taking on Jack Gallagher. Jack Gallagher is from Team Wigan. James Mason is from Team London. That should be good. Melanie Price will be with James Mason, so that'll be always good. Always good to see Mel. Zach Gibson, representing Team Liverpool, versus will be taking on Mark Morgan, who is representing Team Stoke Poges. I'm at a real crossroads here. There's 3 teams I'd like to support here. I would like to honestly support Team Stoke because here, out of the window there, I am in Stoke-on-Trent. I would like to support Liverpool because Liverpool are my team. And I would also like to support Team Wigan because they've got the fucking best side, in my opinion. Jack Gallagher and the models. Brilliant. Absolute Danny Hope. Jerry Hayes, happy days, you know, really hard. Predictions for this one, though, Gallagher is going to beat Mason, and Morgan is going to beat Gibson. All right, the rest of the card. Huge matches. All right, but what we're not looking forward to, Sean the Hammer Davies, I have very little time for. I don't like big men. You know, big men who are tall and muscly and go, and I just look at them and go, yeah, but you can't wrestle, so I'm not interested. But he's doing an open challenge. It could be anyone, and I'm honest, straight up, honest guy, the way that I like to be, not interested. But a match I'm really interested in, Pitbull versus taking on Cyanide. You've heard me talk about Cyanide a lot recently. When I say I don't like big men, certain big men I do like, and Cyanide is one of them, and Babyface Pitbull is one who has impressed me in the 2 times I've seen him. Now, this match is Wrestling 101. Here it is, said it for the first time in ages, right? And it should go like this, because Babyface Pitbull is a suplex machine. So he should spend the whole match trying to suplex Cyanide, and every single time, Cyanide has absolutely none of it, and the match builds and builds and builds and builds until Babyface Pitbull hits the massive suplex, 1, 2, 3, Cyanide is stunned. They can have a rematch off that if they want Babyface Pitbull to pick up the win. That's how it should be done, in my opinion. First time ever in the UK, Sam Bailey taking on El Ligero, however you say it, because I've heard it so many different ways. The first time ever, Max Carnage isn't coming to this show, and I know that he'll be devastated because El Ligero, as I call him, El Ligero, I don't care, as El Ligero is one of his favourites, if you can believe that. He's one of his favourites who he's never seen, if that makes sense. There's enough footage of him online, isn't there? And he's gutted he's going to miss this one. This should be a cracking match. I'm expecting Bailey to work heel, to be honest, and that's something I've never seen, and that's something I'm looking forward to seeing. Personally, I think that Ligero is going to get the win. In a triple threat match with a 10-minute time limit, which is quite unusual, but should mean that she'll get maximum entertainment out of it. Few Shock stable guys, Josh Bowden and Sean Daniels versus, it's a three-way. It's Josh Bowden versus Sean Daniels versus LA Austin, who you've heard me raving about recently. This should be good. Expecting a lot of high risk and a lot of cruiserweight style action crammed into it, you know. That should be good. And of course, I'm going to be rooting for LA Austin in that one because I really like him. The match that I am going to see, though, of all the card, the one match that I am so looking forward to is Project Ego, which is Chris Travis and Martin Kirby taking on Future Shock Tag Team Champions, the Models. This should be such a good match. This, like I say, this match is what I'm going to what I first saw and thought, oh, I'm so there. That's the one match I'm just like, oh yes. That's what I want to go and see. Everything else on the card I'm expecting to be brilliant, but yeah, this is the one. I'm expecting, who have I said? Project Ego I've put on my notes to get the win. I'm sorry, but I really do buzz off the Model. So I was sort of like, But yeah, I've got Ego down to win. And the main event is going to be for the brand new Infinite Promotions Championship and two, great wrestlers going at it. Bubblegum versus the man who never smiles, CJ Banks, the Juice, as he calls himself. This should be a great contest, and I'm really looking forward to this one. But I've got Banks down to pull out the sneaky victory, to be honest. But I don't know why. I've just got Banks down to be the first Infinite Promotions champion. So, straight off the bat, I'm sorry I've rambled for ages already. I've still got another show to do yet. Yeah, if you're in Liverpool tomorrow night and you're at a loose end, you want something to do in the city centre, come along to this. It's only £10. Links below are for their Facebook page, and yeah, it's going to be brilliant, absolutely fantastic. But speaking of fantastic, a show that I'm looking forward to even more, if you can believe that. God, I spent today at work dreaming about tomorrow night, but also dreaming even more about Future Shock 59. There's a load of reasons for this one, but the principal one is, I didn't go to the last Future Shock show because I went to the speaking tournament instead. So it's been months. It's been what? They do a show every 6 weeks, so it's been 12 weeks, which is what realistically is 3 months. It feels like that, even if it isn't, since I last saw a Future Shock show. And so just that, bear in mind that I'd been to 5 straight before that, really means I'm looking forward to this one. The main event for this one looks phenomenal, and just to make it that little bit sweeter, me and 8 of my friends have got front row seats. Oh yes, I've never, ever been on the front row, apart from when there wasn't a back row. Does that count? I don't think it is. Our rule is it's got to have at least 3 rows of seats for it to be a front row, to be able to qualify. Although the show we went to on Sunday, the Great Bear one, was front and back row, because there was 1 row of seats. That doesn't count. That doesn't count. This time we are front row, which is fantastic. Now, I'm not a big fan of women's wrestling. I've always said that, haven't I? But there's 2 women's matches on this card, and both of them have the potential to be good, which is why I'm going to go into them with a very open mind. Jenny Shodine versus the artiste formerly known as Becky James. I wasn't very nice to Becky James, or about Becky James, when I first started doing Future Shock reviews. At Future Shock 53, she had a match with April Davids, which I still say wasn't very good, but she's improved tenfold since then. I've heard great things about her match at 58, and Jenny Shodine is pretty damn fantastic, to be honest. Really impressive wrestler. This should be really good. It's a round robin thing. I've talked about this in Future Shock predictions and reviews before. Whoever scores the most points in the round robin gets to face April Davids at the Super Show in in August, in April. I'm such a prat. Jenny and Hannah Blossom both hold victories at the moment. So this one could really shake things up a bit, couldn't it? Jenny Shodin versus Becky James, like I say. Jenny Shodin, I think, is going to get the win. You've also got the Blossom twins, which is Hannah and Holly, going one-on-one against each other. And I don't know if this ever happened. They fought each other one-on-one. My friend Eval, I'm sure, will be most pleased about this one because he spent the last time he saw the Blossom twins staring at their back ends, which was brilliant to watch. In fact, when I told him about it, I said, hey, dude, guess what's happening at 59? It's like Blossom versus Blossom. Oh, yeah, it was so funny. I'm expecting Holly to pick up the victory in this one. Actually, no, I'm not. Yeah, now I think about it, surely Becky James should pick up the win. Then they've each got a win each, shouldn't they? There's a thought. And anyway, we've also got a tag team tournament going on, the winners of which will face the tag team champions, which are, of course, the Models, who I mentioned a moment ago, at the Super Show, which I have to keep plugging because it's the day after my birthday, the day after my 30th, and it has a steel cage match on it. If nothing else, come celebrate my birthday with me. Come watch a steel cage match because they're very, very rare. But also, just that little bit, if those two aren't enough, Jack Gallagher versus Davey Richards in a rematch from the match they had at Future Shock 52 last year. Fucking come on. Anyway, so tag team tournaments, we've got the Notorious B.A.D., which is Sean Daniels, who I mentioned before, and Sam Bailey, who I also mentioned before, versus Cyanide, who I mentioned before, and Mark Massa. This should be a great little match. You know I've got a lot of time for at least 3 of you guys in this one, and I've seen Mark Massa once. He absolutely demolished Sparks at Future Shock 58. This one should be good. I'm expecting Notorious B.A.D. to get the win. And then there's another one, and this is where I'm hesitant to even talk about this one, because I don't want to get into trouble, basically. I never mean to cause offence when I talk on vids like this, because especially with British vids, because there is a chance, if I say Wrestler A was either shit or not very good, or I didn't like him, there's a chance that the next time I see Wrestler A, he's going to come and fucking say, oi, why the fuck did you say this about me? Yeah, there is a chance of that, isn't there? The next match is the Blackpool Blondes, who I've got a lot of time for, versus Sparks, who I've got a lot of time for, and Carl Clinch, who I've always professed I never really had a lot of time for. It's the straight up truth. I'm sure the man behind the character is a great guy. I'm sure Carl, if that is his real name, is a great, lovely, fantastic guy. It's just what I think it is, you know, when with wrestlers, you know, first impressions are massive. The first time I saw Carl Clinch when he was part of the Vitamin C tag team, I was just like, doesn't really do it for me. And then subsequently, I've seen him like three times, I think, and each time it's been like, yeah, he's all right, but not really anything special. Does that make sense? But the thing is about me is, as I said about the women's matches, I have an open mind. So I'm not going to sit here, I'm not going to go to this show and sit here and go, oh, it's Carl Clinch, fuck that. I'm going to give him a fair shot, you know? And that's what I'm going to do. So expect the Blackpool Blondes to go through this one. Oh, yes. Oh, yes, oh, yes, oh, yes. Then we've got a match that I'm really looking forward to. Is Josh Bowden, who I was talking about before, takes on Bubblegum, who I talked about before. Gosh, this is a great thing about the Northwest scene. There's so many people on the same shows that you get to know these guys pretty damn well. And when a double header comes up like this, you're going to see the same guys on 2 different nights. Essentially, some of them working different characters as well, which is going to be fantastic to see. Bowden has impressed a lot recently. He made his debut at Future Shock 55, and I've heard great things about his match versus CJ Banks last month at Future Shock 58. Did I say 58 for Mark Massa before instantly? I meant 57. I didn't go to 58, that was the one I was speaking for. I'm a moron, it's been a long day! Come on, mate. Come on, guys. I've been out of work for 5 months. Work is hard, you know. I'm expecting Josh Bowden to pull out what I think would be considered an upset victory here. And the main event, and this is huge. This is the biggest match of the weekend for me. This is a massive match. It's a gauntlet match. It's Team Banks versus Team Gallagher. Team Banks is CJ Banks, Dave Rain and the Models versus Team Gallagher, which is Jack Gallagher, Zach Gibson and the Wrestlot Rovers, which is Reynaldo and Dangerous Damon Lee. This is huge, and this is the type of match why I just love Future Shock so much, because there's so many storyline twists and elements that you can put into this one. I mean, let's think about this one, right? You've got, I'm sorry, my girlfriend's phone's ringing in there. That was a bit of a blag. Right, CJ Banks is the #1 contender at the moment. He won the title tournament last year. He will be facing off against Jack Gallagher next month at Future Shock 60. Sorry, in July, sorry. So you've got that, right? You've got Gibson, who will be taking on Dave Rain in the steel cage match. So you've got that. You've got the models who cost the Bristol Rovers a chance in the tag team tournament last month out. But also, right, if those little elements aren't enough, you've also got little things like Reynaldo was the man who Dave Rain beat for the championship. And apart from the gauntlet match that they had last year, hasn't really interacted with him. So, you know, there's a chance for Reynaldo to eke out a little bit of revenge. A Future Shock 54 last year, Dave Rain versus Dangerous Damon Lee was an absolutely superb match. With a bit of a screw finish, but you know we ignore things like that because it made sense at the time. And yeah, and well, it's all good really, isn't it? This a gauntlet match. Basically, this is how it works: 2 teams, and it's singles matches, but it's elimination. So say for example, Reynaldo and Danny Hope start off, and Reynaldo can pin or make Danny Hope submit. Then the next member of Team Banks will come out and replace him. And it goes on like that until basically there's a last man standing. Whoever's the last man standing, their team is declared the winner. I've never actually seen one of these live. I saw the one from last year. It was Team Rain versus Team Reynaldo at Future Shock 50, and it was absolutely brilliant. I am so excited about this match. I can't contain it. It's also a very slim chance that they're going to be the new Dave Rain t-shirts for sale, which I'm so buying if there is one available. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm a lucky boy. I live in the northwest of England, and up until recently I didn't think we had a very good wrestling scene in England, full stop. But I'm so happy to report that I live right now in what I consider to be the wrestling hotbed of this country, and I'm getting to as many shows as I can. Can you believe, as well as these 2, I'm going to another one next Friday. There's another GPW show. Oh, heaven, absolute heaven. Nutty Rock Chick is coming with me to these 2 shows. I'm going to be there as well, like I say. If you're in Manchester at the Stockport Guildhall on Sunday night, and if you're in Liverpool tomorrow night or Saturday night, it's at the, what's it called, the Grand Central Hall in Liverpool. And those were my predictions. I hope you like them. I'm sure not very many people watch them because not many people watch British wrestling, but the 2 people I do, hang in there, it's all good. I've been Mark P. I'll have reviews of both these shows probably on Monday, alright? I will speak to you all soon. Take it easy, guys.